So, it's getting real. Tomorrow start chemo. So today was PICC line day. It was also the day that I started my steroid tablets. So I think the worst part of the day was actually having to force myself to have breakfast. I don't usually eat anything till like 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning, so you have to take your handful of steroids on a full stomach with food, so that you don't get digestive issues or stomach problems with them. So at 8:30 this morning I had to munch a little bit of porridge, which was traumatic for me. But I didn't get any bad side effects from the drugs, so that's good. Then we set off for my PICC line appointment up at the Headland unit at Treliske Hospital to get this little baby inserted. Sexy. It's actually quite big, considering you've got to keep it in for the whole time, which is 18 weeks for me. But it's fine, I can move my arm fine. In fact, they recommend you move your arm fine, just to help stop you getting blood clots and stuff. Firstly, for those who don't know, let me just give you a bit of information. A PICC line, just off the Macmillan website if you want to know more, is otherwise known as a peripherally inserted central catheter. And basically what it is a little tubey thing where they can stick needles to take blood and give you drugs and whatnot, so they don't have to keep finding veins every time, which for someone like me who has 0 veins on this arm, is going to be quite useful. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth about this. It's not sore. I can move fine. But I've just mentioned my silly little veins. So what happens is you go into the little operating room. All looks a bit more formal and surgery-like than it actually is. But like they say, they've got to be super sterile. Because you are basically making an entry point into your body and you don't want to get any germs or infection going on there. So they're all super clean, all like robed up and face masks and stuff, and they use an ultrasound to find a vein in your arm. And you can watch the screen if you like. It's quite interesting because the way they tell the difference between veins and arteries is when you put pressure on it, the veins close up, whereas the arteries go bloop. So I had 2 potential veins in this arm. That's all. The first one was this one. You might be wondering what that little thing there is. And as you can guess, that one didn't go too well. They give you a little prick of local anaesthetic. Didn't feel that at all. All fine. You can watch the pressure of the needle on the screen as they go down to the vein. Turned out this little vein had other ideas, and he's quite tough. So when they were trying to push through, he decided to collapse. Not ideal, but again, no pain for me or discomfort or anything. It just meant it took a little bit longer because they had to abandon that one, use the scanner again and find my other potential vein, which I didn't really want to use because it was a bit deeper and it was wrapped with a artery, so they just had to be a bit more careful. But that one slightly more painful. I don't know if it's more sensitive down here than here, but I felt the anaesthetic needle on that one. But still, it's just, you know, a pinprick at last seconds. Nothing. I chose to watch, and there was some blood, so don't watch if you don't like blood. Obviously they're making a hole in your arm, so what happens is they use the needle to pierce the vein, and they put a thin metal wire down in to check where the vein is. When they're happy that that's in the vein, they put a sheath on it, and it's like a long thin V shape like this. It's got little wings at the top, and they put that down over it and push it into the hole to make it a bit bigger. Don't feel a thing. and then they can split the V a bit, and it kind of opens it up to give a bit more room. So then they can take the metal wire out and put the actual plastic tube down and feed it through. And it's a bit weird, a bit surreal, because you can't feel a thing, but I was watching it all like it was on a movie screen. They're just like boop, 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 happily tucking it down, and it goes along your vein in your arm, across your shoulder, and down to somewhere near your heart. Now they put an ECG on you, so that's a sticker here, and one down on your side, and they measure the electrical activity of the heart on the screen, and they can tell when it has reached your heart. Excuse me a moment, I'll tell you about the palpitations in a minute. Now the heart has different electrical rhythms when the wire is close to it, so what they do is they put it a little too close at first, and they can tell the reading, and then they pull it back until there's no reading anymore. Obviously I don't understand the intricacies of it, but that's the basics, what I understood from what they were telling me. And then they put the little clip on the end, and a little under here, this is like a little wing thing that just attaches it securely to your arm, so the wire can't pull in and out. We've put this bit of gauze on top because initially there's a little bit of bleeding, but nothing much. But tomorrow, when I go back for chemo, this will get taken off and the gauze will get taken away, and it will just be a clean dressing put on. And then that gets changed, the dressing, to keep it nice and clean and sterile once a week. And I was surprised to learn that a community nurse comes to your home and does all that for you. I didn't actually bring up my goodie bag, but you get to go away afterwards with a great big carrier bag full of goodies, and it basically includes all the dressings that you need, sterile stuff, cleaning stuff, loads of bits and bobs, a nice pretty yellow bucket to put in your hazardous waste and all that kind of stuff. Everything the nurse will need basically to clean you up and send you on your merry way. So there it is, the PICC line. Now, after I had mine done this morning, my appointment was 9:30, I went in at about 10 in the end, and I think, what time did you get out? I must have got out about 11ish, don't quote me on that, but maybe 11:15, because we then went into town to do a bit of shopping, and I think I overdid it because I could feel like I should have been really, really tired, but I felt like the steroids were like, had a coat hanger in my clothes on my back and were kind of like holding me up. It was really subtle, and it wasn't like a high, but there was definitely a bit of strength there. So steroids do work. That said, I did go very white by the time we spent a few hours looking for the wig lady and treating myself to some new clothes, which you've got to do obviously when you go through such traumatic experiences. But yeah, now, no pain, nothing's hurting, I can move my arm fine. But what is getting worse into the evening, I don't know if it's more stress, but I have googled it and it's very common, is that I'm getting a lot of palpitations. It's not like a strong heartbeat or a fast heartbeat. It's like a soft but very definite fluttery thing in the heart. It just makes you sort of catch your breath a bit, like, whew, it's a weird feeling. And apparently it's absolutely nothing to worry about. It just means that the PICC line's in a little bit far. People describe it as like it's like tickling your heart a bit, if you want to think of it like that. So tomorrow, basically, I'll just mention it to the nurses then in the chemo ward, and they'll probably just pull out the line a centimetre or two. Might some people go for x-rays and stuff just to check the positioning and things, but it's ridiculously rare for it to cause any problems, so I'm not worried, and I'll just mention it to them tomorrow. But meanwhile, weird feeling, weird, a little too often as well, but easily solved. So there we have it, PICC line. I hope that was helpful.